to my channel. How are you all doing today? Oh, it's been a while, and I can't begin to talk about excuse me. At the moment, I can't begin to tell you guys about anything I'm going through right now. But I just know that I've missed you all so much, and I so want to be back here. And I so want to be able to, bring out content or give out content every day, if I can. But that's by the way. So today we're going to be talking about, you guys are aware of how social media has been in the past couple of weeks. And I'm one of those people that jumped on the bandwagon. I'm not going to lie. Listen, I'm not amongst people that will tell you, no, it's not my business. Well, because this is my business in a sense that, that my channel will talk about lifestyle, I talk about relationships, I do fashion, I do everything, just name it, you'll find one or two of them on this channel. Right, so my topic today is going to be about open marriages. Based off of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett's video. I know many of you will say it's been a long time. Well, I had it all planned out, but life gets in the way. So yes, so one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this is that on Twitter, just shortly after the whole thing broke out, I recall that I saw on a lot of people's mentions on Twitter, especially Nigerian men, especially Nigerian men, all talking all sorts and saying all sorts, and being, in every type of way. So I want to just, raise a few pointers here. Okay, so they were in all type of, elements, and the emotions were just running high anyhow, on what I will dare say, really is nobody's business. Yes, it is nobody's business, and I just want to, talk about, open marriages and why, I think, because of the fact that it is not a conventional type of union, people or assume or people think, all type of way and have all type of feelings about it. And which is understandable, our lives and everything we've ever done so far up until this moment has been, follow a particular, thing, do something a particular type of way. And then we're in a situation whereby, boom, here we are, in this, millennium with millennials of XYZ, group, and it's clashing. Like it or not, it's clashing. We are all clashing, and I think, one of the things that a lot of people understood, a lot of people listened to that video, but a lot of people, I would say that for some of those people that felt, it was the end of the world, something grievous had happened. I think for those people, I think there were things that they didn't understand, or the things they were not listening to. Sometimes they say in communication, listen to what the person is not saying, and it's true. I'm a communication strategist, so in communication, what is the person not saying? What's the non-verbal aspect? The person could be saying 1,000,001 things, but then what is that they're not saying? And I think that's where the point, we can get to focus on. So, I watched the video again, and, so there's a lot of things that, Jada, was talking about with Will. First of all, like I said, I just want to put it out there that, first of all, it's no one's business. They did this, I don't know, maybe to make the public and the viewers and the audience, feel, okay, we got you, maybe we hear you, I don't know. Now, like I said, there's so many things that, were not being said which were, there. And, I think that's where a lot of people did not understand. So for me, I just want to, put out, open relationships as against the things, what you have to understand in open relationships, and what Jada and Will, what they just wanted us to know. First of all, they all wanted us to know that it was none of our damn business. That's the truth. Well, it was none of our damn business. Yes, they didn't, first of all, they weren't the ones who got talking about it. That's Alsina, I don't know how he pronounced it, I think it's Alsina. He came out with this. Whatever motivated him or whatever was behind, his reasoning for discussing this, I don't get it, because it truthfully, it didn't concern anybody. Of course, speculations have been strife that both of them were running an open relationship, but at the end of the day, like I said, who cares? Whose business? If you remember in a video I talked about, I said this. I said there are couples who indulge in open relationships. Who cares? It's not our business. It's their life. Now, it's how they want to enjoy themselves, It's none of our business. It was never our business. So let's go back to, I want to pick some of the things that Jada said, and also some of the things that, Will said that, says all of these things, Now, first of all, she said that, said she didn't know if Will knew how or wasn't sure he had the deep capacity to love her. So basically, this is something that they had discussed in their union, or way before they had even, met, and on how they swing, or how she swings, whoever is doing the swinging, okay, or swinging, And obviously, like I said, it's none of our business. This is something that they both had agreed mutually to, okay? So, there is nothing that is happening without the other's, permission or knowledge, if I would use this, if I would say so myself. Now, one of the things you also have to know about open marriages is, and I keep on saying the same thing, I have a video on that and I'll put it up here, also here. Every marriage has its dynamics. That's the first thing you have to know about marriages. Every marriages have their dynamics. There are marriages that, I've seen a marriage where the woman is the one saddled with everything, from taking care of the children, getting the children back from school. The husband doesn't move. For her, it's working. It will be very, 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 very insensitive of you as an outsider to come into that union and start giving your 2 cents, especially when you were not asked. Okay? If the person who is doing the suffering is enjoying the sufferhead, how is it your business? It's none of our business. And I've said this so many times, every marriage has its dynamics. This is one of them. This is how they roll. This is how they want to be. Okay? So that's this. And, in each of these, areas of their union, there is an expected result. Okay, that is not to say that they don't have their ups and downs, which we can see. It's obvious that they had their own issues, they had their own trauma, they had everything that they were going through. And this is how they wanted to conduct it. Okay, so one of the things we always have to put in our minds at the end of the day is every marriage has their dynamics, their expected results, what they are hoping to get out of this, what they are not. It's just what it is, and there is nothing we can all do about it. I talked about it in also one of these videos I'm going to put up here, where a lady who her husband pummels her, she wants to remain there, talking about also a woman who was in an abusive relationship and she was even ready to stay. There are things that go on in most of these things. I'm not saying that I'm not one for domestic violence or domestic abuse, but what do you do in a situation whereby you have someone, you have somebody, you have this couple, this kind of things are going on. She's not ready to press charges, or he's not ready to press charges. It's my husband, it's my wife, I'm going to stick. What do you want to do? There is nothing you can do about it. Even if you call the police, if the person is not ready to press charges, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? That's number one. Now, 2. Now, before every couple or any couple decides to have an open marriage, you have to understand that they have agreed upon it. They took their time to discuss it. Again, I go back to what Jada told Will, that she didn't know or wasn't sure he had the deep capacity to love her. It also dawned on us while she was speaking that she seemed to enjoy playing, and you know, for Will, this is what she likes, okay? And that's not to say that he doesn't play outside also, but this is her kind of person, okay? Can you deal with me? So obviously, with both of them, they had talked about it. It's something they were both comfortable with. They had discussed it. They were going forward with it. They were going to do it. Of course, they had set ground rules. Okay? Now, if we also listen to what Jada said, she said that, you know, that they had broken up at the time. And I think that's where a lot of us actually losing the plot. You know, they had broken up at the time. They were having issues. They needed to find their happiness separately. Okay, so this was for her a learning cycle. I've seen a lot of people talk about predatory behavior. I don't know, I can't say anything about that because I'm not an expert on that. It sounded that way, you know, but I just want to focus on the story as it is, you know, without going, you know, too in depth, you know, into what I may not understand. Like I said, if you even look at the video, they seemed a little bit bothered and, you know, worried and embarrassed talking to, you know, in that video. Like I said, it was none of our business. They could have just, you know, decided that, you know, yeah, you guys can think whatever you want to think and that's it. Okay? They could have done that, but they decided, okay, well, for the benefit of their healing, her healing, whoever's healing, you know, let's come out with it. Now, you know, so like I said, it has been agreed upon and she talked about it, you know, and then, you know, sometimes, like Will said, he didn't know. So you see, that is where some of the time, or most of the time, we get to have issues like this. When one of the partners does not know that something was happening outside of the arranged agreement we had. And that is what it seemed like, you know. While Jada was trying to butter up the word entanglement, I mean, Will is a real one. He said, you mean you had a relationship? And he was being very blunt about it. It was what it was, entanglement, relationship, whatever, you know. But, you know, at the end of the day, there was a break in transmission and the communication gap between them at that time broke. Okay? But did it stop them from being able to walk through their issue? No. Okay? And again, it sounded like, you know, Will is just hearing about this relationship for the first time, this entanglement for the first time, you know, entanglement things. So it sounded like Will was just hearing about this entanglement / you know, relationship with Og for the first time. Okay? So for him, you know, like he said, he didn't give permission to do anything. I don't know if it's true he said that or somebody else. All right? Now, also, Jada also understood that, well, this relationship or this marriage seemed to have hit the rocks. I'm not sure I'm getting my man back. You know, so there was a lot of assumption here. And while this assumption is going on, somebody was falling in love. And this is what is the most, risky part of being somebody attached to someone in an open relationship. And I'm going to cite what I said here. You always have to remember that that's Augustus, Og, Alsina, whoever, you are a third wheel. You always have to put that at the back of your mind. If a couple calls you out to play, okay, and you accept, you have to understand that you remain a third clog, you're a third wheel. You're not there to stay permanently. Hold your feelings in check. Put everything in a box and throw it away. It's just for the fun. Okay? And that is the point in all this. A lot of them, well, Jada knew what she was having. Okay? She knew that, she was still separated amicably from this man, but they were not divorced. And Og on his own was head over heels, falling and falling and falling and falling. And it didn't seem like, she was leaving this man, as in Jada was leaving Will. And then he got upset and said, listen, I can't do this anymore. So you find out that we're in a situation where, you remain a third wheel. Don't go catching feelings. Don't go and be catching feelings. Don't go and be doing, oh, I'm in love with you. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't go be catching feelings there. No. Make sure you keep yourself in check. Listen, if you fall in love and anything happens, you're on your own. And that's what we can see here. Okay? Like I said, I'm not going to go into the details that don't concern me. But that's what we can see here. Now, all got upset, felt brokenhearted, and decided, okay, fine. I am going to do amebo. I will tell everybody. You have found my trouble. I will tell everybody everything today. Do you see how it goes? So you always have to remember that, in an open relationship, a third wheel is the person who is always from the outside. It's not you. And your emotions have no bearing or feeling on the couple. It has nothing to do with them. Whether they have kids, it has no bearing on them. You're on your own. Okay? Now, again, it's nobody's business. I will keep on saying this, and I'm going to say that, like I said, I'm going to put the video. It's no one's business. It's unconventional for those of us who think it's unconventional. It's the new age for those of us who think it's the new age. It's the 21st century for those of us who are thinking that way. Things have changed for those of us who are thinking that way. We cannot remain stuck in the past for those of us who are thinking that way. Every marriage has its dynamics. And whatever you set out as a dynamic for your marriage, that's what it is. As long as you have a perfect understanding of what both of you are looking for in that marriage. Okay? And I think another thing is, she also said, there's something again that got me, Jada said, between herself and Will, there had never been any secrets. Again, you see what I'm telling you? They know. They are into each other like that. They tell each other everything. Now, something again that, she talked about, or both of them talked about and said that this form of union is not for the weak at heart. So, which means going into something like this called an open marriage, or whatever you want to call it, open relationships, it's not really, you have to have thick skin, for whatever is going to come. Are you ready for it? And I think that's one of the things that we all have to think about here, when we decide certain things or we want to go into certain things in a union or in a relationship. Are you ready? Do you have the heart for this? Are you going to be able to follow this through all the way? Lastly, for me, I saw also where somebody asked a question on social media. I think it was Instagram. I said, celebrities, people should stop, are they still couple goals or not? Again, couple goals are your dynamics. Are Will and Smith Will Smith and Jada, are they the perfect, blueprint to a perfect marriage? I don't think so. Are they the perfect blueprint for couple goals? I don't think so. It's subjective. Are they the perfect, couple image? Yes, they are the perfect couple image. They got it. Okay? But what we all have to understand is that they are doing what works for them. It's not for me. It's not for you. For them. And they are telling you as it is, it's not for the weak of heart. That means you have to, put yourself and say, listen, this is something I'm ready, I'm going to, and you have to be able to stand through it all the way. So if you people come out telling people couple goals or not, I think we should all stop putting celebrities on a pedestal. I think we should stop putting them on a pedestal. I think we should stop expecting, the impossible from them. I think we should stop looking at them like these messiahs that are going to, because they are human beings like you and I, and they are going to err, they are going to make mistakes, they are going to ask for forgiveness like every one of us does to one another or to our parents. So I think we should cut them some slack. Like I said, every marriage has their thing, and this is how they want to roll. Roll your own way. Roll your dice the way you know how, not the way Will Smith and Jada are rolling. No, roll your own dice. Do yours for you, for yourself, for you, not for any other person. Okay? And on this note, guys, leave your comments in the comment section below. What do you agree with? What don't you agree with? Okay? Tell me everything you think in this video, you thought about in this entanglement, and do you think open relationships or open marriages are the way to go in the 21st century? What do you think? All right, I've given my own 2 cents. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.
She's right there to turn me around, make it all right, makes me feel